Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for being here, for attending. I hope the conference is going well. This is a very exciting time for our company in particular. It's uranium exploration and early stage development company. I'm sure some of you have been following along, and most of you are probably aware that this commodity right now is surging higher, over $105 a pound this last week, the highest level since 2006, 2007. Sky Harbor is very, very well positioned to take advantage of this surging uranium price. We're the third largest by acreage mineral tenure holder in the northern Saskatchewan, behind two other companies, Cameco and ATHA. We've got 25 projects, several deposits that we're advancing, that we're expanding. We're just about to embark on what will be our single largest season individual drill program at our two co-flagship projects, Russell and Moore Lake. Russell, a recent option agreement that we've signed with one of the largest diversified mining companies in the world, Rio Tinto, a great partner to have, a large strategic shareholder. We wrapped up our first inaugural drill program there last year, had some of the strongest zones of mineralization that have been intersected at the project, and we're following up on that. But we're also now going to go and drill test again at our other co-flagship Moore Lake project. So big program coming up. We've also got partners that are funding and advancing some of our secondary and tertiary projects. We're planning to sign additional option and JV agreements in the coming months. A lot of inbound interest. And last but certainly not least, we've seen the M&A pick up in this sector. There's been some notable larger transactions over the last several months. Very exciting time for the company as one of the larger junior companies, more active companies in the Athabasca Basin. So I've got not much time. I'm going to do my best to get through as much as I can. So investment highlights, people, timing, and projects. People. So I'll skip right ahead to this, but I won't spend a ton of time on these slides. I run the company, been running it for 10 years, come from a finance and entrepreneurial background. Jim Pettit, our chairman, him and I built and sold a gold company called Bayfield back in 2013, 2014, which we sold to New Gold. Started Sky Harbor 10 years ago, saw a unique contrarian opportunity to come into the uranium sector, start acquiring projects at very attractive valuations, and we've now built it up to a leading exploration and early stage development company in the Athabasca Basin. Dave Cates, who's the president and CEO of Denison Mines. Denison is another large corporate shareholder of Sky Harbor. They own just under 8%. Dave's been a very important director for the company and personally has become a large shareholder as well. Joe Gallucci, who's the head of investment banking at Laurentian, joined us in 2019. Our geological team, headed up by Dave Biard in Saskatoon, they have over 100 years of combined exploration and geological experience in the Athabasca Basin. We've brought in a few new junior geologists as well that joined us from NextGen. So a team that's gone out there, made discoveries in the Athabasca Basin, has focused expertise in this part of the world. Paul Matizik, a strategic advisor, very well known in the industry as well. He's built and sold 6 mining companies, joined us as an advisor in 2016. And then more recently, we added Andrew Ramcharan as our head of corporate development, previously at Sprott, SRK, and at IAMGOLD as a corporate development manager. So we have the right people for the job, a good mix of exploration expertise in the basin, coupled with a team that's built and sold mining companies. Cap structure, 181 million shares out, trades about a 95 to 100 million Canadian market cap, well funded, over 10 million in the treasury. So this is the strongest we've ever been financially. Got 6.3 million in flow through that we raised at 77 cents, a big premium to the current price in the mid 50s here. That funds us for 15 to 20,000 meters of drilling this year. So we're starting 8,000 meters. 5 of that will be at Russell, the other 3 at Moore Lake, and then we're already gearing up thereafter for summer and fall programs, which will likely be another 8 to 10,000 meters. So fully funded. We've got cash and shares still coming in from our option partners. So we haven't had to raise a hard dollar in a financing since August of 2020. Not many other exploration companies can say that. A big part of that has to do with the prospect generator business that we've built up over the course of the last 5 years. You'll see some of the larger shareholders. I mentioned Denison, Rio, We've got a new slate of institutional and family office shareholders that you'll see a number of which have joined the register just in the last few years. So the group at the bottom there, that's about 60 to 65%. Management insiders, corporates, family offices, and institutions. We're in all of the major uranium mining ETFs as well. So as we see money continue to pour into this space, as the uranium price continues to march higher, we benefit being a constituent in those various ETFs. Bottom line is this market currently is being squeezed higher, $105 a pound. I don't think any of us were expecting it to move as quickly as it has, and it looks like it's going to continue to move higher over the coming years. We'll see what it gets up to, but bottom line is we're in a full-blown bull market for this commodity. It's going to take a lot of new supply to come online to meet this demand profile, and we simply do not have that new supply slated to come on, any meaningful amount slated to come on in the next few years. So we could see much higher prices. This commodity typically overshoots in bull markets. We saw this in 06, 07. We saw this again in 2010, 2011. So I wouldn't be surprised if we set new highs at some point. To give, again, some perspective, 06, 07, the uranium price got up to $140 a pound. That's over $200 a pound in today's dollars. So we're still about half of that, a far cry from that. So still room to move. Here's our portfolio of projects. So I mentioned our two main assets at Russell and Moore Lake. Both of these projects are advanced stage exploration assets that are either host to small uranium resources or significant showings of uranium in historical drilling. Think of them as being prospective, not drill ready, but discovery ready. The next drill hole on each one of these projects could deliver a new major high-grade discovery. So the 5,000 meters at Russell, we're gearing up. We're going to be starting that shortly. This project is a relatively new project in our portfolio. There's 3 targets that we're going to be drill testing. 2 of them are the extensions of uraniferous conductors from Denison's Wheeler River project. We completely encircle the Wheeler River project to the north, to the east, and to the south. Again, Denison's a large shareholder and partner company of ours. So we're going to be drill testing a couple of those extensions from Denison's Wheeler River project, as well as testing what's called the Grayling East zone. And this is a zone that we didn't get around to in the last program, but is very, very prospective. So a very exciting program coming up. I think this is the program that, again, delivers that big new high-grade discovery. And we're drilling just a few kilometers away from the Phoenix deposit, which is currently being developed by Denison and could very well become one of the next producing mines in the Athabasca Basin. Benefit from a road, power lines, and an exploration camp that we're inheriting as we earn into this project. We have an option to earn up to 100%. It's a staged earn-in. We'll be complete the initial 51% in the coming months. And like I said, we have plans to continue to aggressively explore and advance this project. Right beside Russell, you'll see Moore Lake. So this is our other co-flagship project. This property we've had in our portfolio since 2016. The first few drill programs we carried out there intersected some very high-grade mineralization, upwards of 21% U3O8 over 1.5 meters. That was within 6% over 6 meters. So there is a small high-grade deposit. We're working on a resource estimate currently, but we're also now planning, tied in with the drilling at Russell, a 3,000-meter program. We'll simply skid the rig over from the Russell Lake project, and we're going to drill back right into that high-grade core. We feel there's expansion potential that we haven't yet fully tested, and then we're going to drill test some of the regional targets as well. So combined 8,000 meters, fully funded, fully permitted between Russell and Moore Lake. We are expecting some good results, especially from the infill and definition drilling at that high-grade Maverick zone. And following that, we are planning to issue a 43-101 mineral resource estimate at the project. And then we will enter the summer and fall months with additional drilling, fully funded, fully permitted, to continue advancing both of these projects. This is a good snapshot of the prospect generator business that we built. So we have a dual-pronged strategy, focused exploration at our 2 main projects, Russell and Moore, and then we look to option and JV out the non-core secondary projects. You'll see 7 partner companies, 2 are joint ventures, one with Orano, France's largest uranium mining and nuclear fuel company. And then we've got 5 earn-in option partners. So these companies are still making their cash and share payments to earn in at these projects. And as well, they have to fund all the exploration. So a combined $80 million in project consideration, assuming that these companies complete their earn-ins, about $34 million in exploration funding from the partners, the rest in cash and stock. And again, that's allowed us to raise money in non-dilutive means to keep the ball rolling. Big year ahead, as I mentioned, so 8,000 meters, Russell and Moore. We're expecting of those 7 partner companies, 5 of them should be either drilling or carrying out exploration programs this year. We're also looking to bring in new partner companies at some of the other 100% owned projects that we have in the basin. And really what we're trying to build is a one-stop shop for investors to get exposure, not just to 1 or 2 projects in the basin, but a multitude of projects that can deliver high-grade discoveries and expand on existing resources. So with all that, thank you very much.